Hello everyone, this is Corin Landwalker, and tonight we have another exciting episode of Star Trek Online. Last week, we completed the Temporal Cold War, or at least as complete as anything involving war that includes time travel can be. In any event, our part in it is done. Fortunately. And we decided to help out the Starfleet folks with their directive of exploration again. Got involved with Lukari again. We had first contact with them a while back, and now we are helping them out on their first steps into the wider galaxy. That said, their first steps into the wider galaxy included discovering a planet that had been scoured clean by protomatter, which also apparently included time-traveling Federation officers. So, good times. And we're going to continue the arc with the Lukari tonight. Following the good Admiral Tellel of the Romulan Republic. But first, let's take care of our usual administrivia. I did a little bit of sales, and it looks like every single thing I threw on sale has expired. Well, that's depressing. But it also means that I know exactly what's going to be going into the wood chipper shortly. Oh, I can't actually take those yet because I've got to be in an area where I can access a mailbox before I can take these things. And I am not immediately going back to a mailbox. At some point. Just not now. We have some reputation stuff to deal with. New Rhymeless continues its slow march to Tier 6. The odds of it reaching Tier 6 before we reach the end of the line remains to be seen. But I don't think we're going to make it. Temporal Defense marches onward, but not for much longer because we're no longer getting temporal marks. I don't think we're going to complete Tier 4 on this. But that's not going to stop us from trying. And no other reputation rolling right now. You'll see we've got a Lukari thing here too. But I don't think they're going to be coming through the missions. That said, it's been a while since I've done all this stuff, so maybe it will. Let's double check our situation on specialization points. No new points gained. My traits are still there, which is important because half the time it feels like they disappear for no apparent reason. Alright, that takes care of all the good stuff. Let's go to the missions. We are now in New Frontiers, having completed the Future Proof arc. And we are going to go with of signs.
We've received some discomforting reports from the Lukari. They have discovered some unusual activity in an unexplored region of the Alpha Quadrant. The data suggests another weaponized use of protomatter, similar to what happened recently at Draconis 3. The Klingons have sent a ship out to assist with a Lukari investigation there, and we'd like you to join the operation. If the Zenkethi have developed a weapon of genocide, we must know of it at once.
Now, once again, presuming that you are not an original series aficionado, or at least the original series of movies, you might not know that protomatter was a key ingredient to a little device that showed up in the second and third movies called the Genesis Torpedo. So, yeah, that's a big thing here. So, our rewards, our usual trifecta of of XP, expertise, and dilithium ore. I am presuming that Harbinger is a yes, Harbinger is a title. That can't possibly be good. And we get a choice of Braden technology. Don't ask me what that is. We'll probably find out. And it's probably going to be, oh, or I can get a space trait for regenerative control. Gets regen from activating bridge officer abilities. Interesting. And something identical for the ground. Also interesting. But we're going to take a look at the equipment first when the time comes. Not quite yet, though. We're going to get into the meat of it right now. Now, the good news is Herzani is not all that far. Of course, it also means that we can't seem to, you know, go there under the correct direction. Pesky bug-like things.
Another species came not from the Federation, but from this sector, Ferenginar, to be precise. While the Ferengi have not always been the best of neighbors, they have provided us with valuable data on this sector, for a price, of course.
Of course. Kamarki, incidentally, for those who have not been following along, is the first starship captain of the Lukari, having been the one Lukari who actually was willing to do something to keep their sun from going nova. Haranzi. The Haranzi system is located in an unexplored area of the Alpha Quadrant. Preliminary scans indicate the presence of at least one planet with multiple moons. Well, let's see about these multiple moons. And is that a Klingon ship? It is a Klingon ship. We have arrived in the Haranzi system. I'm reading 2 ships in local space, and we are getting an incoming hail from the IKS core. On screen.
Guavan, I am General Rodek, security advisor to the Lukari. I have read your report on the incident at 20 Draconis. If the Zinkethi are behind all this, we must be ready to meet them in battle.
Now, even for hardcore Next Generation fans, the name Rodek may not immediately set off alarm bells. But Rodek was not always Rodek. And he has a lineage that is a little more interesting. He just doesn't remember it. But why spoil things for future episodes? You can be sure that we'll be revisiting this again in the not too distant future.
Do you have any questions?
What have you learned so far? I'm not going to ask why you're here. He told me he's a security advisor.
We know the Zinkethi have developed a proto-matter weapon. What we do not know is why. They have not attacked any of our enemies with this weapon. This is puzzling, considering their proximity to several key Federation systems. The Empire has asked, what drives the Zinkethi to use such a weapon? And I intend to provide the answer.
It is a curious thing, isn't it?
The Lukari are just ahead and eager to begin the search.
Well, there's no sense in putting it off. ISS Raskava, that's a new ship.
Good to see you again. It looks like we have another incident to study. We sent out a number of long-range sensor probes to this sector recently. After the events of 20 Draconis, I took the liberty of setting the probes to scan for proto-matter. I'm afraid they found something. Let's begin our search by sending a short-range probe to the nearby planet.
I think you've upgraded your ship a little bit, Captain.
Yes, the project was a community effort designed by some of our best and brightest. With the help of our allies in the Alliance, we were able to finish construction and the shakedown cruise faster than anyone expected. The Raskova may not be as large or impressive as some ships, but she's ours, and she's ready for the job.
Now, the comment about being a community effort is possibly more literal than you think. Now, it's been a while, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure that the end design came about due to input from the Star Trek Online community through a series of posts on the website. And it wasn't a complete design, it was more along the lines of the developers showed bits and pieces of possible designs and they were voted upon, and this one was the winner. And I don't know if I can get a good look on it with the window there in a way. But it's definitely kind of a triangular sort of ship. It's a pretty decent design. I like it.
The crew of the Rescava stands ready.
Okay, move near the planet and launch a probe.
Proto-matter is the weapon of a coward, but we respect its power.
Protomatter can also be quite beneficial, General, when used properly.
Well, that is there is truth to that. As is often the case, science and technology are tools, and it is the intent of the person using those tools that matters. Apparently, they've managed to get Protomatter to work pretty decently from the Lukari point of view. From the Federation point of view, Protomatter is not so good. And to be fair, recent events...
The atmosphere of the planet is so thick it will take the probe some time to get through the interference. While the probe is busy, we can collect data from the planet's moons. At least one moon has signs of protomatter energy. A closer look will give us more information.
Alright, let's get to the first moon.
Perhaps the probe's information will give us more insight as to why these attacks are occurring.
Hopefully, that's half the reason we chucked these probes out in the first place. I mean, it's kind of implicit in the name.
Most curious. This is a Class Y moon. It's incapable of sustaining most known life forms, but it was scorched by protomatter recently. Why would anyone devastate such a place?
Okay, there's clearly more going on here than meets the eye. Second moon, I guess, is the one over here.
Perhaps they use the moon as a test site for the weapon.
That's possible, but seriously, Class Y? Is that really the...
So, it was a poor choice.
Yes! Yes!
I scour a world already devoid of life.
Rhoda gets it.
It sickens me to see protomatter used like this.
And it's not even like they're using it as a Genesis weapon. It didn't create new life. It's completely barren. Now, that said, protomatter was an ingredient, but not the sole point of the Genesis effect.
Another enigma, I'm afraid. This is a Class D moon, similar to Luna in the Sol system. Incapable of supporting life, and yet it has been hit by a protomatter. Why? Perhaps the third moon will have some answers. Let's take a look.
It is definitely a mystery.
Another uninhabited moon, but one quite different from the first. What is the pattern?
This makes no sense. There is no tactical pattern to these attacks. There must be a reason, though.
Yes, just because we can't see it doesn't mean the Senkethi haven't
This
figured
out
something.
quickly before more lives are lost.
Yeah, we know of one inhabited world that's already been scoured. And kind of hoping that's not the case for this one. That said, this moon is pretty far out there, isn't it? But we're getting in scanning range any time now.
Scanning. The moon is Class L. I'm picking up some ruins on the surface, some simple life forms. There's evidence of crude attempts at terraforming, but no signs of a protomatter detonation. It looks like there was an attempted settlement on this planet, but the project was abandoned. By the look of these readings, it took place over a century ago.
That's a puzzler.
The probe we sent to the planet is active now. It's sending data back to us.
Excellent. It's really weird that the one moon that actually has life on it has been left alone.
I'm detecting incredible levels of radiation, atmospheric pollution, ruins of great cities, and... Oh no. Based on these scans, I believe this is the planet Kantar, the original homeworld of my people. There are no signs of protomatter here. It seems Kantar was rendered incapable of supporting life long ago. By the Kentari.
Oh, they blew that one.
I can barely believe what I'm seeing. I've always wondered what became of them, and now I know. Most Lukari thought something like this would happen, but some of us hoped they would see reason and overcome it. It saddens me deeply to see otherwise. I suppose you have some questions for me.
Yeah, remind me about the Kentari specifically.
Once we were all Kentari. Those who followed the teachings of the scholar Lukar came to be known as Lukari. The Kentari were obsessed with power and material wealth. Their pursuit of such things was destroying the people and the planet. The Lukari stood against those
They'd have gotten
things
along
and
with
for that,
Grindy.
they paid a terrible price. I suppose you have some questions for me.
I'm presuming you left your homeworld because of this philosophical disagreement.
There was a terrible schism between Kentari and Lukari. It ultimately led to civil war. We lost. In the final days of the war, most of us chose self-imposed exile over death or imprisonment. We gathered on our remaining ships and left Kantar forever. To this day, that event is known as the Great Exodus. I suppose you have some questions for me.
Oh, you kind of seem surprised. You would think that you would remember.
Much about Kantar was stricken from our records, including its location. Only a few Lukari know of the homeworld. My crew and I were not among their number until now. It is a shameful matter that many of us would like to forget.
I get it.
I suppose you have some questions for me.
No, I think we've run out of questions. Let's get back to business. Lukari have transmitted the coordinates to the next system for investigation, Admiral. We're ready to depart on your command. Then let's do so. To borrow a phrase, make it so. I'm reading the protomatter signatures detected by the Lukari. Preliminary scans indicate the event occurred within the last 24 hours. General Rodek is hailing us.
There has been a large-scale battle in this system. We are analyzing the debris. It appears the losing side possessed technology roughly a century behind our own. Preliminary scans indicate that the battle was very one-sided. I recommend we take a closer look at some of the nearby debris.
Sounds good. Let's take a look. Heaven knows there's plenty of it.
Our scans are showing the wreckage of dozens of ships. They weren't all military either. I'm seeing remains of freighters, mining ships, research craft, even luxury vessels.
This is Senkethi?
Unclear at the moment. We have not detected any Zinkethi debris in the field yet. Whoever did this was powerful, but not honorable. There is no honor in attacking the weak. I'm detecting strong energy signatures ahead.
That could explain an awful lot about some of the conflicts that Klingons and the Federation have had over the years. Alright, let's take a look at the energy signatures. Looks like plasma leaks.
Around 50 ships were involved in the battle. Many were lightly armed, if at all. I am reading traces of engine-grade plasma ahead. It does not match that left by the local craft. Perhaps the aliens managed to score a hit to the engines of an enemy ship. I suggest we advance and investigate further.
A reasonable plan, and Well, sure, looks like something a little bit more modern here.
This is all that is left of a Sinkethi vessel. It appears the aliens detonated the warp core of one of their capital ships after ramming the Sinkethi at full impulse. They fought with honor. For them, it was a good day to die.
Okay, General, I think it's time we get a little more intel on just who the Sinkethi are. They've been referred to in the past, but this is the first time that anybody's really gotten a chance to see them in pretty much anything, really. Tell us more about them.
They are reptilian, territorial, and aggressive. In battle, they are ruthless and devious. If they fought with honor, they would almost be respectable warriors. They fought the Empire and the Federation and lost. It appears they are preparing for another war, but with whom? I dislike riddles. Let us get to the truth of these attacks. Perhaps they are testing the weapon against planets that are not part of the Alliance, hoping that we will turn a blind eye to their crimes. Once they have perfected the weapon, they will certainly use it on their old enemies. Their list of enemies is long. We should continue our investigation. There may be more clues in this area.
Let's continue scanning then. Looks like another Sinkethi ship up ahead, or at least it's got the energy signature there.
Stress call. It's very faint.
Whoa.
I'm sending you the
I don't know who you are or where you came from, but thank you.
What happened here, Captain?
What can I tell you?
Oh, who are you?
Egan Burin, captain of the Pavini starship Bastion. Or what's left of her, anyway. Most of my crew was planetside on shore leave when the invaders warped into the system. We went into battle with a skeleton crew. It's a miracle we survived.
It is.
What
Do
can
you
I
know
tell
why
you?
they attacked?
I honestly have no idea. Until today, we had never seen them. We hailed them. They didn't answer, and then they started shooting. They just kept firing, even when we tried to surrender. And then some sort of energy bomb went off on the homeworld. It killed everyone. They finished off the rest of our ships and left. Somehow they missed us. What can I tell you?
You have any allies, safe havens, colonies?
No, we had no colonies, no allies from other worlds. Until today, we were our own worst enemies. The powers that be on Povin fought amongst themselves from time to time, and everyone thought we were one step away from a global war. In the end, we put all of that behind us to fight these aliens as one. And we still lost.
You're alive.
What can I tell you?
It's a bad thing. If this is all that's left of them, is their species, they're pretty much doomed to extinction at this point.
There might be survival pods from other ships out there among the wreckage. Could you look for them? We're doing all we can to keep life support running over here. I can't start a search and rescue operation on my own. If you have any engineers you could loan or some spare parts, my crew and I would be forever grateful.
We can do this. Send them over and we'll see if we can find more survivors. Now the good news is we are scanning 3 sets of life pods, potentially speaking. Oops, and we just went right by them, didn't we?
Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you.
Let's not full impulse this one, because we might be blowing right through them, just like we almost did with the first batch.
I thought no one would come. Thank you, strangers. Thank you.
And that leaves one more grouping that we're aware of.
Someone heard. By all the gods, someone heard the signal. I'm saved.
Now let's see if we can get them aboard the disabled ship, which is hopefully going to be back up and running shortly.
Thank you again. May we seek asylum among your kind? Please, we don't have anywhere else to go.
Well, we've got a recently rediscovered starbase pretty close by.
nearby was hit by a protomatter blast. Estimated casualties in it. Check your long-range sensors. It just happened again. Another detonation.
Red alert.
It is time for a reckoning. The Zinkethi must pay for their crimes. We must go now, before the...
I'm right there with you. Take us to warp. Now entering the Jod Core system. Sensors indicate the presence of a pre-industrial civilization on the planet ahead. Its moon shows signs of recent protomatter detonation. Admiral, I'm detecting Zinkethi life signs on the planet.
Whatever the Zinkethi are doing down there, we need to stop it. Now.
I don't think I need tactical advice to figure this one out. Let's get going.
Zinkethi warships! Red alert!
And here we are. First look at the Zinkethi battleships. And, well,
Alliance vessels. This system has been claimed by the Zinkethi Coalition. Your presence is unnecessary. Leave at once.
yeah, I don't think so.
You were warned. So be it. We now walk on the path of violence. To battle, Commander. Fight.
Well, let's take advantage of our greatest tool, the cloaking device. Well, the frigates are certainly going down pretty quick. Well, to be fair, Lukari technology is only recently gotten to the point where it can handle this sort of use. Now let's see if we can hammer some abuse on the battleship. Oh, we damaged them, that's for certain. I think he's almost done for. It's a pleasure to be dealing with someone who has, you know, standard capabilities as opposed to those crazy future, cool starships, which always made life interesting. Like the old curse. Let's see if I can rattle him a bit with tractor repulsors. Nope. Then I guess I'll have to content myself with torpedoes.
A good battle. Well fought. Honor and victory is ours.
That's great, but you saw life signs on the planet, which means we still have a problem. We can beam an away team close to Zinkethi position, Admiral. They're currently far from any of the settlements we've detected on the surface. Oh good, that'll keep Starfleet from going nuts about prime directives. As usual, we have my bridge officers of Varsal, Shayla, Varara, Talon, and, you guessed it, no! Yeah, I do that every time. It's never going to change. Gufano, I guess that's the planet. Admiral, I believe the Zinkethi are using some type of jamming technology to conceal the protomatter bomb from us. Finding it could be difficult this terrain. What do you recommend, Tovin?
Your weapon is inefficiently shielded. It leaks kaons at a level our tricorders can detect and track. I recommend we scan for elevated kaon levels and follow the signal.
I wasn't actually asking you, but okay, I'm good with that. Pop a scan.
The kaon particle traces lead into the valley ahead of us.
Oh, I see. They followed the waterfall.
Yeah, not caring much about water, am I? That said, I think I might want to hesitate on, taking the waterfall specifically. So why don't we get over here on the path instead?
The rocks here are causing a lot of interference. We should take another set of scans to get our bearings.
Bloody tricorders. Oh, we're seeing something. What's he see? This is a rather horrible place for us to be, now that I think about it. If the enemy has that high ground.
They're big and angry.
We now walk the path of violence.
Violence? We can do violence. The Romulan Republic's been at war with people practically ever since its birth. We can certainly do violence. In fact, and they are big, aren't they? Let's get a couple probes out. Well, one probe, technically. And let's see if I can drop the bomb on somebody. There are an awful lot of these guys, aren't there?
So, there are some Zinkethi with a taste for battle.
You can always rely on a Klingon.
Path to the east.
They're always so enthusiastic.
Why would they destroy entire planets?
I think we're still working on that one.
They must find some tactical advantage in these actions, for some reason.
Yeah, we still don't have a whole lot of intel on motivations.
I'm reading Zenkethi life signs ahead. They are waiting for it.
Ah, good. We will meet them in glorious battle.
You can always rely on a Klingon. Let's see, do I have anything I can use to pop them at this distance? Not for another minute. I guess I'll just have to content myself with hitting him with my own weaponry. Fire! Burn! He's not really burning very much. Oh! Okay. Time for some defensive fortifications. And maybe some offensive ones too. Well, the flamethrower is doing what I needed to do. But for long range, the rifle is better.
Tactics. We must be getting close.
The path continues down from here. The protomatter bomb is still ahead of us.
Oh, let's try to get there before it goes off.
Are rising. We're getting closer to the protomatter bomb.
Because it would really stink to actually still be on the planet when it goes off. Oh, guess who's here? Yeah, we tend to disagree with cleansing worlds with sentient life on it.
They fight like cornered rabbit tar. I can smell their fear.
There, just ahead. I see guards. We must be close.
Yeah, I think the whispering is really inappropriate at this point, don't you? If If they haven't figured out we're here from all the weapons fire. And it looks like we've got...
The trail ends here. I'm reading Zenkethi life signs inside that blocked-off cave.
We don't have time to go through the blocked-off cave.
I'm reading a tunnel behind that waterfall. One that leads to the cave. We must move. Quick, move swiftly. And we can take them by surprise.
Behind the waterfall, huh? We can do this. Okay. Maybe we can't do this. Maybe he meant on the trail above the waterfall. There we go. I was getting a little too literal. That was my problem. Okay, that can't be good.
Look, they've set up the protomatter bomb in here. But we'll need to clear the Zenkethi from the cave before we can do anything about the bomb.
Right.
They only left a few guards. They clearly did not notice the secrets.
Yeah, well, that was their mistake. Our goal is to make sure that they pay for their mistake. And take ruthless advantage of the fact that we're here and they're, well, not going to be. It's a little cold-blooded, but hey, I'm a Romulan, not a Starfleet person. Okay, Kumarki, you're the expert on protomatter. How do we turn it off?
Oh my. That is a huge protomatter matrix. It's controlled by
Text pass,
three
text
regulator
pass.
consoles, all active and cycling towards detonation. I can shut it down, but I need time. Cover me while I work.
Oh, that complicates life, doesn't it?
Defend the Lukari!
Well, that should be no problem, because
Shutting
once she
down
gets in the
Pylon
position,
Alpha.
I can slap down a cover shield.
For honor!
That'll take care of some of the potential problems. Ah! Came in from behind.
Your path of violence ends here.
Or, to put it another way, we do violence better than you do.
Pylon Alpha is offline.
Oh, good.
Soon, victory will be ours. Keep fighting!
Shutting down Pylon Beta now.
Looks like he can't throw up another cover shield yet. Or can I? Yes, I can. But let's be a little cautious about where we put it. Aha, there we go. See, I was expecting you, buddy.
Pylon Beta is shut down.
Excellent.
Pylon Gamma is down. We're all clear.
Well, that was fast work. Or do you mean something else? I think she meant something else. Oh, hi there. I didn't say you could hang around. Oh, here come more. Just when you thought you had them taken care of. Oh, no you don't, Ugly.
Pylon gamma is down. We're all clear.
Now that is more what I expected.
It's done. All the bombs are deactivated. We can... Wait. Look. These crystal formations are very similar to those we found at the first protobombing site on Draconis 3.
You know, I was thinking those were a little familiar.
This can't be a coincidence. We may have found what the Zenkethi are targeting in these attacks.
Yeah, but crystals? Seriously? Rodek, you know anything?
Word from the core. Zenkethi ships are dropping out of war.
Yeah, that wasn't really what I wanted to hear, but... Agra, situation report. Admiral, the Zenkethi are on an intercept course at full impulse. Shall we beam up the OA team? Yeah, I think so. We really don't want to be down here. We're being hailed. This would be good.
Alliance vessels, I am Fleet Admiral Arenzen Tarak. As you now know, this system has been claimed by the Zenkethi Coalition. Further aggression on your part will not be tolerated. This world is not yours to defend. Leave now, while you're still able.
We do not recognize your claims, Zenkethi. Your forces have murdered millions. If you are the leader here, it is you who will answer for these crimes.
I'm with him.
Then your choice is made. The path of violence. It is one I have walked many times, without fear, without remorse. Come, let us walk it together.
Fight now for honor and glory.
You gotta admit, nobody revels in combat quite like a Klingon. Oops. Wasn't paying close attention. I almost got myself blown up for it. Embarrassing, embarrassing. Apparently the commander's ship is a wee bit tougher than originally expected. If they're going to be having reinforcements, I might as well get my reinforcements first. This frigate is a loose end. Let's finish him up. Let's tie him off now while I'm still in decent shape. Cruiser's a little tougher, but I don't think he's anything special. Oh, I thought he was dead for a second there. He was down to 0%, but he popped back up before he exploded. Nope, looks like the Rescava took some hits. Let's see if we can offer a helping hand.
This is far from over.
Oops, looks like Rodek kind of took care of the commander himself.
Zenkethi will not be denied. Those who try to stop us will be purged, their home worlds cleansed. You have been warned. Test us at your peril.
Yeah, you come at New Romulus. We'll do to you what we've done to everybody else who's tried to take out New Romulus. Ask the Iconians how well it went.
Let them flee. Let them run to their masters. and whimper like craven tards. Let them whisper of warriors who fight with honor and without fear.
Yeah, I think this was basically their definition of "we'll be back."
You may be right. They may return and bring their protomatter weapon with them. Should that day come, I hope to meet them in battle once more with a warrior like you at my side. But for now, I must return to the Empire. There is a matter of great importance that I must investigate there.
Hey, not a problem. It's been fun, General.
I think we found a big piece of the puzzle. I believe the Zenkethi are targeting planets with concentrations of those strange crystals. But why? A riddle for another day, I suppose. For now, we should return and share what we've learned. About everything. Including the fate of Kentar. Do you think they managed to survive somehow?
Well, as Titan's mentor once said, there are always possibilities. All decks have reported in, we're ready to depart. And so a world has been saved. And the mystery is partially solved and partially becoming deeper. We know what they're going after, or at least we're pretty sure, but we still do not know the why.
The reports are true then. The Zenkethi have a protomatter bomb. Unfortunate.
Master of
I admit
understatement.
great discomfort at the thought of this weapon being used on another world, especially one in the Republic. We must know more about this bomb and how to stop it. We need to know more about these crystals you mentioned as well. If they are the key to these attacks, we need to know why.
Alright, so let's take a look at our toys here. I'm currently using a Kobali deflector, Solene engines, and a standard covariant shield. Do they have shield in one of theirs? Let's see if this shield is any better. Raiden does not appear to be better as far as raw numbers go. If I were using a slower ship, I would go with it because being able to improve speed and turn rate would be a big deal. But I don't need that for this ship. The Hyper Impulse engines. Well, let's see. Low power settings. I do not. Well, it does seem like it's marginally faster. Turn rate's better. We're not really getting a whole lot in the way of extra power there. It does have the plus on all that. Speed boost and damaging shockwave. You know what? That's a big deal right there. When it says you use this ability and after 4 seconds it shuts down your engines, that's bad. So we're not going with that either. That brings us to the deflector array. And I guess it comes to a question as to what I value more, shields or hull. But its other abilities aren't all that impressive. I mean, it's got some great control expertise, but I don't use a whole lot of controls. Which brings us to the traits. So the real question is, do I want to use a ground trait or a space trait? Let's take a look at what we've got here right now. Exploit damage higher, creative kit performance, critical hit. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have natural immunities, but that looks like that's one I can remove. So we'll grab the restorative control synergy. Now, I think I have to actually switch maps to make that become active. So I'm going to visit my bridge for a minute. And then I want to pop right back out. Or I might be able to do it right now, actually. So where is that? Here we go. Is that shield harmonic? No, that's the resistance. Where's the one with regen? I can't believe I've already forgotten the name of it. Well, this is not too embarrassing. Plus, I'm not actually... Tell me I didn't accidentally take the space one. Tell me that I did not take the space one. Because I would be banging my head against the wall if it turns out that I took the space one by accident. Okay. I'm not... Unless it's in my... Ah, that's why. Haha. Because it's in a box and I need to open the box. Restorative control synergy. Done. Of course, you're talking about control kit modules, which means I screwed that up too. Well. It's not the first time I've made a big mistake there, but when activating a control kit module, yeah, and all my kits are basically fabrications. I blew that one. So since I'm here, I might as well do something other than the toxic one, because honestly, that was just meh. Not going to use pistols at this point. Kit readiness. Oh. Fabrication resistance. Okay, that one works. Alright, time to leave the interior and get ready to rumble. Time for the next episode. Mirrors and smoke.
While searching for signs of weaponized protomatter, one of our long-distance research probes made a most curious discovery. It found a Class M planet at the heart of the Gonkra Nebula. That's not the most exciting news, however. The probe detected the presence of sentient life on the planet. The biosigns were very similar to our own. It is possible that we have discovered a lost tribe of Lukari. We're going to investigate, and we'd like some backup. The probe went offline rather suddenly after detecting the planet. These people might not be very friendly.
Okay, well, we can certainly help out. Usual trifecta: XP, expertise, and dilithium ore. And, you know, when you look at the rewards and you look at the name on here and you pay attention to the previous episode, you realize I don't think it's Lukari will find me. Kentari mass-produced missile launcher. Sounds intriguing. It has high yield capability. Certainly a possibility. Personal shield. Let's take a look at my personal stats here. See how it shapes up with the shield I've got now. It's not really in a... Oh, actually, yeah, it is. It's got a better maximum capacity. But on the other hand, it's kind of hard to pass up the distortions I kicked off there, so I'll probably keep that. Combat armor. Well, considering that I use no stealth abilities, this is certainly looking like it could be a contender. I will have to consider this. The problem here is that it doesn't seem to do a whole lot for me except give me a lot of extra hit points. Which, admittedly, ain't bad. However, it looks like those hit points come up with, well, some of those hit points come up if I have a set bonus. Ooh, we also have a hand weapon here. This could be useful. Well, could be the plasma residium shot. I don't know. This is going to be a tricky one. I don't know how I'm going to go on this one. So let's zap over there. We'll transwarp there so we don't have to worry about slogging it over.
Very little on this sector is known to us or our allies. We have recently established contact with the sector's most prominent inhabitants, the First Federation. They are somewhat enigmatic, but encouraging, especially where Tranya is concerned.
It really kills me that they've gone to the effort of putting a demarcation area for the First Federation around here. And they've done nothing with it in this game so far. At least I'm pretty sure, at any rate. I could be mistaken, though, because, you know, it's been a while since I've done some of these missions, and I could be completely mistaken. The Gonkra Nebula was recently discovered by Lukari long-distance probes. Preliminary scans indicate the presence of an inhabited planetary mass within the confines of the nebula. Which is basically what Marky told us.
I'm reading a group of starships out there. They're armed, shielded, and combat capable. Let's hope they're not hostile as well. As the ranking officer here, I believe you should be the first to initiate contact.
Fair enough. Open a hailing frequency. No response. Perhaps the nebula is interfering. Let's scan it. We're compensating. Still no response. Okay, Kamarki, we haven't gotten much luck here.
Might respond more favorably to a familiar face. May I open a channel?
Couldn't hurt. Nobody's shooting anybody yet, so...
Unidentified vessels. This is Captain Kumar K. of the LSS Reskava. I extend cordial greetings in the interest of establishing peaceful contact between us.
Still nothing. Do we actually have a translator that operates?
I'm not certain. Wait, they're locking weapons.
Oh, so much for the not shooting thing.
The Reskava did nothing to provoke this attack.
Sometimes people do bad things, and you gotta be bad back. Tell you what, though. Apparently we're going for disabling rather than wiping them out, so... Which is kind of fair. I mean, we are kind of intruding their privacy a little bit. But, you know, all they gotta say is just go away as opposed to just opening fire. It's rude.
Alien vessels. This is Prime Minister Tulaman of the Kantari Union. I've ordered our
What'd I
forces
tell
to
ya?
cease hostilities and ask you to do the same.
This is Admiral Talel of the Agra. What's with the twitchy trigger finger?
There's been a grave misunderstanding. It is customary for us to discuss such grievances in person. Will you accept my invitation to parley?
I don't know. Those are more like guidelines than actual rules. Oh, sorry. Wrong setting, wrong genre. Yes, send us the meeting coordinates.
The Kantari. They survived. Somehow they managed to survive the devastation of Kentar and make it here. Incredible. Historically, Kantari were quick to distrust and attack. It would seem that hasn't changed. We should be cautious. Despite that, I am ready to transport when you are.
I was getting ready to say, how in heaven's name does a society like that get space travel? Then I remembered the Klingons. Alright, let's beam down, standard away, team. Hopefully the sheer variety of alien species will make them hesitant to do anything stupid. And we've got the slow loading time for this. Insert Jeopardy theme music here. Honestly, I would have that kind of music playing here in the background, but I'm pretty sure that the DMCA folk would have a fit, so you'll just have to imagine it.
The 14 sacred trees of Lukar. The Kantari destroyed one world with their toxic ways, and it seems they're well on their way to destroy another. Unbelievable. This Prime Minister has much to answer for. Where is she, by the way? And why are we meeting on the street?
It does seem like an unusual place. Could it be a trap? Message from the Kantari, Admiral. Apparently there was a minor error in the coordinates they provided, resulting in your current situation. Transmitting updated coordinates for the Kantari Capitol building to you now. Shall we beam you to it? Nah, we'll walk it. Might as well get a look around and get a lay of the land. Yeah, this place does look like it. Ooh, talk about smog. Yeah. Anything we can do here? I'm reading extreme levels of toxin in this Kantari's lungs. Without treatment, he will be dead in months. Well, you know, there's not a whole lot we can do about that.
Levels of toxic chemical emissions in the area.
Ouch, what just happened? Is it the water? Is it something else? Scan vent. Oh, we have one right over here.
They still use unregulated exhaust systems? Unbelievable.
So they're slow learners, apparently. And, you know, I'm noticing a whole lot of people here, unlike us, are walking around in environmental suits.
How peculiar. The doors here have built-in filtration systems.
I'm beginning to think that we should maybe be in environmental suits. Or at least if we had our breath masks here, but we don't. One of these days I'll have to open up these packages and sell off some of the more of the stuff I've got garbaged up here.
What's that machine off to the side? Some sort of miniature store? It's full of breathing aids. People poison the air here and charge others to withstand it.
You know, one could read the allegory here. Certainly Star Trek is no stranger to that sort of thing.
Does that fluid look off to you?
Which fluid? There's so much fluid around here that drain pipe is leaking acidic fluids with high levels of pollutants. And Kantari needs some help here. Ouch. Well, they have lovely and appetizing foodstuffs here.
I've never seen this level of suffering.
I have, but then again, I survived Virenat. Okay, this is...
They pile the refuse in the streets. It's barbaric.
I don't know, this seems rather strategically placed. This isn't debris.
There are still heat signatures on this junk. It was placed here recently.
This is a barricade.
Kill the Lukari and her alien lackeys.
Okay, I think you've got an essential misunderstanding as to who's got the better tech here. I'll give you a hint. It's not you. Does anybody else want some?
I see hatred for Lukari still burns in the hearts of some Kantari, along with violent xenophobia. Hopefully their leadership is of a more diplomatic nature.
Yeah, let's hope. Of course, it's also possible that she set them on us. Let's show them what we think their barricade. What's this?
The Capitol building is a short distance from here.
Yes, but I want to see what we've got here. We've got some news reports. Why don't we see what life is like here, shall we? Economy.
The colony is providing just enough food to support the Kantari population at current consumption levels. The government has launched a new farm labor program aimed at increasing food production and adding new jobs. The program is expected to launch prior to the beginning of the next crop cycle on the colony.
Okay, this ought to be interesting. Environment.
The structural integrity of several housing blocks has been called into question by independent analysts. Ministers have
Yikes. Science.
The small business epidemic is on the rise. If you find a citizen collapsed on the street, call the nearest medical station. When you purchase breathers, make sure you provide for your children before you provide for yourselves. We must secure the future.
Well, at least they have their priorities straight hand. Seriously, a sports page?
Number 41 of the South Capitol Steel Vendors received an award from the Office of the Prime Minister for charitable service yesterday. After the team's victory over the North Capitol Forgers, men celebrated by purchasing gold bay breathers for each fan in the stadium.
What we have here is an odds up, and what are these over here? Competition. Let's read what they have to say. Economy.
Asteroid mining in the system has revealed a new mineral. Its primary use lies in power generation, and it could serve as a high-energy alternative to chemical and atomic fuel sources currently in use. The Kentaur Energy Consortium has secured initial rights to harvesting the mineral, known as Ardenite.
Environment.
Contrary to reformist propaganda, smog levels are stable and decreasing in some quadrants. Yes, construction teams are receiving contracts, but this will lead to job creation and affordable housing throughout Kentaur City. Remember, as upper floors are bought and moved into, the lower floors are made available to others at affordable rates. Looking for an 80th floor view? Soon you'll be able to get one. United, we are strong.
It's kind of frightening how 80 floors up is considered a lower floor. Science.
Recent studies on the connection between unprotected breathing and the so-called smog sickness were inconclusive. Many of the planet's population never wear breathers, and none have been diagnosed with the disease. Remember, eat well and work hard. Staying strong is the only true way to keep from getting ill.
And sure, let's go with sports.
Number 15 of the colony feeders, has received more criticism for speaking out against the owners of the various planetary teams. Moody continues to state that the team owners are subjecting the players to horrible living conditions, while the owners all live in penthouse suites.
So like sports these days.
Gone on the record that their living conditions are fine, and they are not being bribed to make these statements. A boycott on all Beast souvenirs is still in effect in most cities, though Moody has yet to be suspended by the Sporting Guild.
Okay, well, wasn't that a fascinating look at the culture here?
Even here, the poor huddled in misery.
Yeah.
What? Another attack?
You know, I'm not entirely surprised. I didn't get the feeling that they would, just give up. However, because they're relatively innocent, I'm not going to drop orbital strikes on these guys. It would be rude. For similar reasons, I'm not using the flamethrower.
Is that the last of them? Let's go inside. The Kentauri have some explaining to do.
Yeah, you could make a good argument for that. I wonder how many floors up we'll be going. Near the top, I imagine.
Well, this place is a far cry from the smog and squalor we just left, isn't it?
Not incredibly surprising. Prime Minister?
Welcome to New Kentaur. I must apologize for the unfortunate incidents that have taken place. You have arrived during a period of social unrest for our people.
That's one way to put it.
I'm afraid so. The decline of our world has split the Kentauri into two factions. The reformists, like myself, who wish to gradually change our way of life for the better. And the traditionalists, who cling tightly to the old ways and all of the destruction that comes with them. The Kentauri who attacked you were traditionalist soldiers. They see you, and especially the Lukari, as a threat to their existence.
Seriously? Like how?
It's simple. Your kind are well-armed aliens from an advanced culture. To the Trads, you're hostile invaders. And the Lukari, dangerous anarchists from our distant past, long thought exiled, now returned. And more dangerous than ever. The troubling part is they may be right about all of you.
Hey, chill. We're working with an alliance of plenty of species out there, and we all get along pretty decently. Admittedly, it kind of helped that the Iconians were kind of whooping us recently.
Minister Pentaro is in charge of planetary security. It's his job to evaluate all potential threats, foreign and domestic. The idea of working with aliens, with Lukari, will be controversial. That said, our situation is deteriorating. I'm willing to open a dialogue with outside parties.
Such a dialogue will be monitored, however, in the interest of planetary security.
Your suspicion is misplaced, Minister. We had nothing to do with all this.
You're not wrong, Captain. And we realize the need to do something about it. The privileged few are safe above the pollution, but they live on borrowed time. Ecosystems across the planet are failing. We can no longer afford to...
Prime Minister, do you think it's prudent to discuss such matters with these outsiders?
It's in your news. Good Admiral. Sorry to interrupt, but I have urgent news. Awesome. Okay, Tovin, what is it? Senkethi warships are on fast approach to the moon and the planet. Kintari forces are moving to intercept, but they're heavily outgunned. Go to Red Alert. We'll have to do what we can.
Curious. One band of aliens arrives with words of peace, while another arrives bearing the swords of war. How convenient. Coincidence? Or a cunning ruse to weaken our defenses and lower our guard?
They aren't exactly friends.
I believe you. Our moon is home to our agricultural sites and thousands of Kentari workers. Your help protecting it will be welcomed by my government. The sooner you can begin, the better.
Alright, let's beam up. And see what we can do. The Kentari have moved to engage the Senkethi forces, Admiral. They won't last long without us, especially against that flagship.
Saving their ships might build some trust with the Qatari.
Maybe. Battle stations, take us in under cloak. Personally, I'm tempted to let them take the first few hits, but no, we're the good guys. That's one frigate out of the way. Oh, it's nice to see some appreciation. Excellent. I wasn't sure if I was facing the correct direction to get that flanking damage. Being in a raider, I get extra damage by attacking behind. That said, you can't always get what you want. be able to take him down soon. I can't believe he's actually still kicking.
Fight on! For the Union! For the Centauri!
I'm reading concentrations of crystals targeted by the Zenkethi on the Centauri moon.
Ooh, that's not good.
Along with numerous Zenkethi life signs and several protomatter signals. We'd better hurry. They may be preparing to detonate more bombs.
We better get going.
Stop those bombs, now!
We're on it. Cloak up.
I hope your people know how to deal with these bombs, Lukari.
Yeah, we should really set up a correspondence course there.
This is some kind of a trick. You won't begin to regret it.
Oh, they did say they were uncrusting. Sound strategy. In fact, let's bring some friends. Really? They're weakest in the front? Seriously? And all this time I'm trying to get behind them. Well, you know what? I'm fine with that, honestly. Because if they're strong in front, that means I'll either do lots of damage to them in the front, or I'll get behind them and do lots of damage with my flanking. Either way, we win. Well, theoretically, we win. Yeah. Oh, he's got plenty of health up front. Got a bit of a fight going on here. And we're losing some shields. And some of our hull. But so far so good. The fight's going well. Let's get some back end hits, shall we? I can just get a few more. That's always the goal here. Only 38% more to health to go. They're a sack of hull, but we're getting there. I'm debating whether or not I want to call more reinforcements. Why not? Too much is never enough. Let's get some friends from the Delta Quadrant here. Uh-oh.
We're too late. Running away.
Oh. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good.
We detected some sort of intense energy detonation on the moon. We're reading 0 life signs there. No one. They're all gone. What did they do to us? What has happened?
They used a protomatter bomb. It's bad.
All is not lost, Minister. While we can't bring back the Centauri who were killed, restore your moon's food production capabilities in short order.
What's this now?
A likely story. For all we know, this is the precursor to invasion. These aliens have destroyed our food and weakened our military, Prime Minister. They mean to conquer us.
Let's consider what may have happened if we weren't actually here.
Calm yourself, Pentaro, and remember who is Prime Minister here.
Ooh,
Captain
takedown.
Clarke, I accept your proposal, provided there's full oversight from the Ministry of Defense at every stage of the operation. You'll understand our need for such security measures, I'm sure.
I won't let you down, Prime Minister. Have your observation team meet mine on the moon at these coordinates. We'll begin as soon as we're able.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out here, just in case we have a return appearance. Last thing we need is for the Senkethi to come around and... By the way, you don't have any of those crystals on Kentari Prime there, would you? Because that would probably suck. Up, more inbound. Oh, you overestimate yourself if you think a bunch of frigates are going to be what causes us problems. We just spanked your dreadnought. Compared to that, a few frigates, they're just target practice. We're going to let Kamarki do her thing. And we're going to make sure that you guys don't interfere anymore. Let's work on our shields a little bit. And let's work on their shields a little bit. Adios, Senkethi. What's your status, Raskava?
The protomatter emitters are in place. The matrix is stable and primed for effect. Let me know when you want me to initiate the restoration procedure.
Now would be a good time.
Protomatter matrix is stable. We're ready to begin. Initiating primary restoration sequence now.
Something is wrong. Everything just stopped. Why?
What broke?
I checked the settings myself. That moon should be covered with crops by now. I could use some assistance down there. Please join me at the worksite.
Will do. I'm not sure how much help will be. We're not the experts on protomatter that you are. But willing to take a look. And slowly loading away. Slowly loading. One day I'm going to discover why some maps load quick and some load slow, because I often don't see rhyme or reason to it. I've seen some very quick loading big maps.
Let's begin by configuring the flow regulators at each of the transmission arrays. I'll observe the flow rates while you make the adjustments.
Alright. Let's see what we can do. Resynchronize, and looks like we have our good old-fashioned harvestable minigame here. That reminds me. I don't see anything immediately. I don't see any immediate shinies, so that means I don't have to worry about being like a squirrel and harvesting them like crazy. You know how it goes. If I see it, I gotta scan it. But at the moment, I am not seeing them, so I don't really feel threatened. Alright, we're all synced up, Kamarki.
Curious. Someone made adjustments to the transmitters that could cause a detonation similar to a protomatter bomb. But whoever did it wasn't familiar with Lukari tech. We have safeguards to prevent such a thing, so instead of blowing up, it just didn't work. I hate to say it, but I believe one of the Kantari observers made those adjustments.
Well, you know, they are factionalized right now. What's this? Oh! Okay, I can see that we're going to have to do something about this. Defensives? And offensives. Do you think, Kamarki? And while you're here, let's see if we can make it a little more difficult for them to get the jump on her.
I could use some assistance.
Roy from... Oh, we got him over there now. That figures. I go all through all the effort of setting up the cover shield, and now they're attacking in a different direction. This is the story of my life.
Cover me while I secure the protomatter.
Working on it. Well, the good news is that most of the fabrications are still doing their job. Captain, you've got to learn to be able to take a few hits while you're working. And I noticed that you're still not actually doing anything.
I'm taking fire here.
Well, you know, you had your chance, but you know...
They just don't know when to quit, do they?
No, they don't. But as long as you get your work done... Ooh, took him out, but just smacked him with a rifle. Protomatter is secure. Okay, let's get it right this time.
Those were traditionalists. I suspect one of their operatives was behind the sabotage here as well. I've locked out access to everyone but you and me. We can make things right without any interference once we return to our ships.
Then, by all means, let's do this. The Kantari need their food, and we are the ones that give it to them.
All systems are online. We're ready to go. Initiating restoration process now.
Protomatter matrix deployed. Everything's in the green. We did it.
So we've effectively just set off a Genesis effect. I hope it's a lot more stable than Genesis was.
Worked. Our sensors are showing a stable protomatter matrix in the formation of crops at all production sites. We owe you a profound debt of gratitude. Thank you.
Yeah, it was all Kamarki's work, although your traditionalists seem to be poking their nose in.
Their actions have shamed us all, but they will not get away with it, I assure you. Minister Pentaro is looking into it personally. He has sent some ships to escort you back to New Kentar.
Yeah, and they seem to be going weapons hot, too. I have a sneaking feeling that your minister might be the cause of our problems.
Alien vessels, surrender or be destroyed.
That's a joke, right? Fire to disable. Kamarki is a nicer person than I am. Given the trouble these guys are causing me, causing their people, honestly, they could probably use a few casualties. But but we're playing it the good guy way.
My hand. You and your pathetic Lukari bootlicker. It's time to end this. I will make New Kentar safe once more. Safe from you and the rest of the alien filth in the galaxy.
Do you have any idea how big the galaxy is? You're outnumbered by multiple galactic empires to one planet. Stand down now.
Exile was too good for the Lukari. We should have wiped you out.
Well, all I can say is
Not everyone in the defense force
you had your chance. Yeah, it looks like their big ship is going to be a problem. And apparently they're still able to target me through the cloak, so that's not good. And it appears that the good guys are taking more of a beating than the bad guys are. Never a good sign. Reinforcements now. Whoa, not good. Well, that didn't go well, did it? That'll teach me to mock the bad guys. And really I shouldn't have, considering that I was just commenting on numbers earlier. Well, that goes both ways. They have numbers on me. So I gotta be a little cautious as to exactly who gets aggro when. There are an awful lot of disabled vessels, including apparently Factoria. How about that?
was a traditionalist for some time, but I thought he placed the people before his personal beliefs. I was wrong. His madness nearly killed us all. And for what? Pride, hate, and fear. I wish to formally apologize and thank all of you in person. Under the circumstances, we should meet on one of your vessels. The Rescava, if you are agreeable.
Minister, I like the way you think. Let's beam over.
This is a momentous occasion. I'm glad you're here to share it with us. Diplomacy is part of a captain's job, as you know.
Oh,
I hope you're up
yes.
for the challenge.
He'll be fine.
Welcome to the Rescava, Prime Minister. I look forward to working together.
Thank you, Captain. Most kind of you after all that's happened. We almost lost everything today. Instead, we can begin to build a better future, thanks to you. There will be resistance from people like Pentaro, but we must continue to look ahead. To that end, we hope to work together with you and your allies.
I'm happy to hear it. Kentari and Lukari have lived apart far too long. We've recently begun to explore beyond our world. Perhaps we can do so together.
Perhaps. We've got a lot of work to do before then, however.
Indeed we do.
Well then, let's get started, shall we?
I think they're going to be all right. After all this time, the Kentari are here, alive. I can hardly believe it. This will be quite the revelation back home. Many Lukari do not look fondly upon the Great Exodus, or the Kentari who forced it upon us. Still, we may be on a path to reunification, one that lets us rebuild what was lost with the Kentari. I truly hope so. Alright, let's take a look at the toys here. I'm still tempted to go with this Residium Thrower. But not tempted enough. Really, there isn't a whole lot here that jumped out at me as being, oh, I've got to use this. So we're going to take the missile.
Congratulations, Admiral.
Oh. And I just got the special bonus. Oh, I also seem to have gotten an Endeavor taken care of. Let's see what's in the Endeavor box. Energy credits. Big shock there, right? And we will temporarily, at least, replace the Rapid Reload Transphasics with this mass-produced launcher. And we'll see how well it works out in a combat situation. If it works out great, we'll keep it. If it doesn't, we'll pitch it. And now it's kind of an interesting spot to be in because I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do the next episode here. But, well, before, you know what, we'll just call it early today. I mean, it's not like I have a huge amount of viewers watching right now, so I think calling it a night is probably more than acceptable. I will, of course, be streaming Star Trek Online again next Wednesday from 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I also stream Star Citizen on Saturday nights from 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. All these times, end times the end times are subject to change, like tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching, whether watching live or on my Twitch archives or YouTube archives. I am likely to be doing some cleaning on the YouTube archive somewhere along the line because nobody really wants to be watching a whole heaping bunch of 2-hour videos. So odds are that somewhere along the line I'm going to start pruning some stuff off, but I haven't made any hard decisions on that yet. In the meantime, thank you all for watching. This is Korath Landwalker, signing off.